Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Grow My Salon Business podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Whitaker, and as always, it's great to have you here with us today. Thank you for all the compliments regarding the podcast. We really do appreciate it. And if you're one of those people who haven't yet left us a review for the podcast, I would love it if you did. The ratings and reviews are extremely helpful. They do matter in the rankings of the show, and it helps other people to find the podcast. And of course, we always love to hear what's been helpful to you. So all you need to do to leave a review is go to either the Apple Podcast app or the Spotify app and search Grow My Salon Business, then scroll to the bottom of the page and leave a review, and you would make us very happy. Like Debs and Jeff, who just posted a 5-star review this week titled Godsend to Our Industry. And they went on to say, Anthony has a wealth of knowledge and experience much needed in our industry. I love the podcasts and I find them so motivating and educational, and firmly believe that without Anthony, my business would not be where it is now. Thank you so much. You're a star. Well, thank you, Debs and Jeff. That's very much appreciated. I do value that you've taken the time to do that. It does mean an awful lot to me. So with that said, on with today's show. Now, most listeners to the podcast are also salon owners. So let me ask you this. As a salon owner, how do you think of yourself? And probably more importantly, how do those on your team think of you? Are you the boss, the manager, or the leader? And there is another term as well, and that is owner. I'm the business owner. It's something that happened. It's something that you've done. Being the owner feels important. It feels like you've achieved something, and it positions you as the person in charge. Whereas being the boss, the leader or manager, has a different feeling about it. They all feel suspiciously not like something you've done, but like something that you have to do, and you do. And in most cases, there's a lack of understanding about what it is that you're meant to do and how your success as the boss and the manager and leader will be determined. But let me come back to that in a few minutes. At some stage, you've probably heard the expression, people don't quit jobs, they quit managers. Now, as a blanket statement, I don't know how much truth there is in that, but it's certainly true for some people. In the salon industry, or for that matter, any client-facing service-based business, it's essential to have a sense of unity and dedication from everyone that's on your team, because at least in theory, you're meant to be working as one cohesive unit, all with the same goal in mind, which is happy clients, happy team, and a profitable business. In fact, if you take any one of those components away, the happy clients, the happy team, or the profitable business, then the entire business will inevitably come to an abrupt halt. A successful salon business rarely does require a team effort, and a team effort requires leadership. So if your business is falling short of your expectations, it might well be because of the people on the team and something they're doing or not doing, which then results not just in a negative atmosphere, but also in high staff turnover and the inevitable negative financial impact on the business as well. But here's the thing. The problem may not be with your team, and I know that this might come as a bit of a shock, so I do promise not to tell anyone else, but believe it or not, the problem might actually be with you. Or more specifically, the problem might be caused by your style of management. And that's why it's important that you recognize the difference between just being the boss and being a leader who inspires others to become the best version of themselves possible. Even just the word boss comes with connotations of someone who's more likely to be exerting their authority and creating an environment of there's my way or the highway. But here's the thing. I think that there's a balance to be found, somewhere between being the old school boss versus being someone who naively believes that everyone will do the right thing at the right time when left to their own devices. And I think our industry has in many cases gone way too far in that direction. And I think it happens because building a business, managing and leading a team of people is hard. It's really bloody hard. And as most salon owners don't know where to start, they do the best with what they know. And sometimes they come across as tyrants, and other times they come across as complete pushovers, and neither are effective. But there's a balance between those two extremes, and it's called leadership. And if there's one thing lacking, not just in the industry today, but in the world today, it's real, solid, reliable, and dependable leadership. The boss mentality is an approach that's often fearful of change. It's fearful of losing control, and as a result, it creates a culture of anxiety for the people on your team. Because nothing ever feels like it will be good enough for you. And as a result, you don't get loyalty and trust out of your people. Instead, you're more likely to get resentment and a lack of commitment and doing everything a bit half-assed as a result. Whereas a true leader doesn't need that degree of control. Instead, he or she has people on their team that believe in them, people that follow them, people that trust them. And when you can create that environment, that kind of culture, that's where innovation, loyalty, and new ways of thinking, new ways of working, and new leaders on your team are created as a result. So if you're a leader in the salon context, you need to be aware that your style of management and leadership has an impact on everyone on the team, and therefore the culture and atmosphere within the salon. If you're the heavy-handed boss that discourages innovation and new ways of thinking, then that discourages trust and fun and a willingness to try harder or to do better or to go the extra mile. As a result, it destroys creativity and sharing ideas, and it inhibits the salon's ability to stay relevant and to grow. And in that scenario, everyone loses out. And so how do you transition from being a boss to being a leader? Well, like most things in life, it's not easy. It requires work and it's never ending. But it's a process that I think starts with you recognizing that perhaps, just perhaps, that your management style is part of the problem. It requires a little bit of self-reflection, a lot of commitment and a willingness to change. Begin by listening more, and I hope my wife isn't listening to this, and talking less, becoming more introspective and engaging more with your team so that they are more willing to open up and share. I think that perhaps people don't do this because they don't want to come across as being uncertain. They don't want to come across as being weak or indecisive. But being a little more vulnerable and listening more and being more prepared to listen and even change direction doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. As a leader, your job is the development of your team. The best way to achieve that is to spend less time instructing them and more time listening and engaging with them. So start by defining a clear vision for the business and then establish a clear, obtainable objective for everyone on your team, and then put in place the resources and the support to make your vision become a reality. And a crucial step in that process of leadership is acknowledgement, recognition, and celebration of every win that every individual on your team achieves. And that's a never-ending process. And if you embrace a style of leadership that puts the emphasis on growing the individuals on your team, on teamwork, on shared goals and mutual respect, then you start to create a salon culture that attracts and retains the best people. I feel that I'm constantly saying your business is a reflection of you, and if you don't grow, then your business never will. And I am constantly saying it because it's true. Often I meet salon owners who seem surprised that along with everything else that they have to learn when they become a business owner, they also have to think about the management and leadership style that they'll adopt or learn. And as I said, your business will ultimately be a reflection of you and your leadership. So if the goal is to have a team of motivated, loyal, and well-trained individuals, then you need to embrace becoming a leader and not just a boss. If you do that, you'll be rewarded with a team that feels supported, respected, and inspired. And as a result, they're more likely to stay with you for longer, and they're more likely to contribute to the growth of the business. But be warned, becoming a leader It's not one of those things that you do and it's done. It's not a box that you tick. It's an ongoing, never-ending process of inward reflection, of learning, of personal growth. And sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but you can do it. I believe in you. So before we start wrapping up this episode, can I ask you a little favour? Can I ask you that you take a selfie of wherever you are listening to this podcast, whether it's in the car, thanks David from Dublin, or at the beach while you're out running, thanks Aristides from Athens, or walking the dog, thanks Gordon and Cody from Chicago. And so whatever you're doing and wherever you're doing it, then take a picture of yourself and email it to me, anthony@growmysalonbusiness.com, or post it to your Instagram and tag me in it at growmysalonbusiness. Okay, so with that said, we do need to start wrapping up this week's episode. For further information, visit growmysalonbusiness.com to find out more about our free resources, as well as our grow books, our online courses, and our one-to-one coaching programs. Have a great week, and don't forget to tune in next Tuesday for another great episode of the Grow My Salon Business podcast. Until then, bye for now.